Welcome to humanity. This is our life.
Whatever it takes, we got to say whatever it takes is what it took.
This is Brock Lesnar, and you're listening to FightNet Radio.
Hi, this is Manny Pacquiao. I'll fight anybody on FightNetRadio.com.
But it's a fact. You know what I mean? How dare them even challenge me, these fighters, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? With their primitive boxing skills, you know what I mean? They're as good as dead.
I couldn't hear anything those motherfuckers said.
Hi everybody, welcome to Fight Net Radio. That's Conor
boxing
McGregor.
Press conference is a completely different setup than we're used to.
That is Conor McGregor at the Mayweather McGregor press conference concert thing that I went to today. I don't even know what to say about it, Andrew. I mean, I was there. I mean, ultimately, I could have watched it on YouTube for literally the 20 minutes of activity that occurred. The truth of what I saw, before I get your feedback on it, I know you watched it. So, what opinion do you... I have lots of opinions about this, Andrew. Do you want me to be a professional sports journalist? Do you want me to be a dick? Hi, everybody.
Like it is,
Hi,
Lee.
Everybody. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. My name's Lee Honish. I went to the press conference today. That's Andrew Labouche. All right. Where do I begin on? I guess if I was listening to this show, right? Because I could obviously watch the press conference online. So if I'm a fan of this show, one of the five, right? I would want to know, what did you see, Lee? Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, so when I walked in, I saw that people were scalping tickets to go to this thing at $50 a pop. Now, some of you are listening.
20,000 seats were sold, Lee.
Sold out. Like there weren't windows open. It was completely sold out. There was not a ticket to be had. They were selling free tickets for $50 a piece. That's shocking to me. It's free. It was free.
A lot of UFC fans.
Okay. Number two, there were distinctly two different crowds at the LA venue.
That's right.
One of the crowds was predominantly white with big, bushy beards.
You were there. You're just calling it like you see it.
Just calling
Lee.
it like I see it. Now, that crowd, as I interviewed, seemed to believe White Power was going to win this fight. Then...
He called him a boy.
Yeah, okay, hold on. Then there was a predominantly black crowd there that was sporting TMT hats, gold chains. They were predominantly Mayweather. I'm not saying that they're selling this based on race. I'm just telling you, I'm gonna just call it. UFC fans are predominantly white. Okay?
Yeah.
They just are. Okay? And the problem with the UFC is this. Okay? I'm gonna say this to all of you MMA fans. Get this. I take Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so what I say is true. The white guys that are successful in the UFC would not be good boxers, and they'd get their asses kicked by a bunch of black dudes every day of the week in a boxing ring. Now, I'm going to say this, and this is really to piss off the UFC fans. Those white guys that you're in love with would get their asses kicked by a bunch of Brazilians if it was strictly a floor game. The one thing the white guys have figured out in the UFC, and why white guys seem to like this, there is a predominantly white sector of guys who has learned just a little bit of boxing and a little bit of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and a little bit of kickboxing, and they do this one very specific sport called mixed martial arts.
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades. And good for you white guys, right? You got hockey and you got MMA and all four of the guys on the Dodgers.
Took away Brazil's gi, right?
Took away Brazil's gi is what they did.
Yes, sir.
And by the way, since there are only 3 Americans who have ever won the world championships in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, everybody calm the fuck down about how great the ground game is on these white guys. There are only 3 of them, and I've met 2 2 of the 3 guys that have actually won it. And
it's good you're talking about this because we are going to see these 2 possibly throw down in the octagon. Lee, Mayweather said it really early, bro. We're talking press tour number 1. He's already saying fight me in the ring or the octagon. He's already saying put 4-ounce gloves on me. It's all about the money, people.
It's all about the money. The minute McGregor started to bring up money issues, which he did an overture about IRS and money issues.
Yeah, he's wearing a sweatsuit because he can't afford it.
Because he can't afford a suit.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Okay, by the way, called it last week when we did this show. They're going to make this fight about Floyd doing the fight for money.
Yeah, Lee, we told him.
Yeah, straight up.
We told him yesterday Monday would be hot with the IRS. It was on my damn local radio station like 3 times today.
Right, and it's, by the way, it's bullshit. Okay, so the second, now my next observation about the fight before I forget any of the good ones. So I went there with my whole attitude of, let's see if the what do you call it, the boxing internet community, the BICs, as they like to refer to themselves. So we all know about the internet pro wrestling community and how they're smarter than all the writers of all the wrestling shows. There's the internet MMA community and their little forums. By the way, you fucking nerds who follow boxing, you have your own community. Look, the reason people listen to this show is because it's on in those communities. I get what my fan base is. It's guys that think they're smarter than the system, more or less. And believe it or not, far more Hispanic and black people listen to this show than I ever fucking gave it credit for. And to those of you non-whites who listen to the show.
You're hella stupid.
Wait, by the way, for those of you non-whites who listen to the show, good for you. I'm glad you get the jokes. Because I fucking hated the white people I met today. I want to backtrack on why I'm so anti-white as I walk into this thing, Andrew. So a couple of weeks ago, you know that I competed.
He said, "Dance for me, boy."
Dance.
Lee.
It's fucking great, dude.
It's going to start a riot.
Dude, this thing is so... Wait, by the way, you didn't want to riot at the forum. It was way more white people than black people.
I know.
Way more.
Listen,
there was There were a lot of those shaggy beard dudes walking around.
I seen it, and you could hear it, Lee. You could hear it over the.
It was McGregor. Well, here was the other observation. So
it was about 15-5.
It took me about a half hour to get in through the media line, and I was standing. I just happened to get there with a bunch of boxing guys that you and I would know. But it was only a small group of us, like 3 or 4, and like any boxing writer that we kind of knew, kind of huddled with us. And there was a debate out of one guy. He's like, "Do you think there are going to be a lot of boxing that it'll mostly be boxing guys?" And I said, "No fucking way." I said, "It's mainstream media and MMA guys." I said, "All these boxing guys are on their fucking high horse, and they're not going to support this. They're just not. They think it's a circus. They think it's bullshit."
You let him call my fighter a boy one more time, I'm backing Floyd all the way. Hey, listen, I'll make it a race thing. You're not American if you're not going for Floyd Mayweather in this fight. Fuck you guys. This dude's from Ireland. This dude's over here talking shit to one of our guys. Mayweather, listen, you want to know the biggest memory, best fight I ever seen of Floyd live was the Ricky Hatton. It was them people disrespected our country that whole fight week. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, they know. They remember. They booed our national anthem. They called us fat and lazy. They thought Ricky Hatton was walking on water. They truly believed he was going to be the one that stopped Floyd. And when they booed our national anthem and the night of the fight, and Floyd came in with the American flag, I felt, man, I'm not going to say I fell in love, but yeah, that was the moment where it switched me. I wanted Floyd to whip his ass. I was supposed to be media. I was supposed to be neutral, but no. Not when Ricky Hatton's fans did that on the night of the fight. And I know McGregor's going to cross it, so I'm already going to go on Floyd's side. I'm glad Floyd brought out the American flag on him today. No, it's going to get racist. He called him a
dude.
Freaking boy.
It's so racist that it's literally almost shocking.
They're going to need extra security.
How quick and racial it actually was. Like I was. even I was a little shocked by it. And you know me, I'm not normally that guy. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's
gonna get there when he makes comments like that. Floyd might not. Maybe he caught it, maybe he didn't. But I'm gonna tell you, both of these guys are gonna go back and watch the tape, and then they're gonna come back for round 2 tomorrow. McGregor.
Well, they're doing, for those of you, I guess for people don't know, they're gonna do 4 days straight. So I guess you don't want to throw water bottles or throw punches on the first day. But based on the people that I've talked to, we are all of the opinion that these two guys have worked out what they're going to do over a 4-day period.
They haven't. It's not like that, Lee. Don't say that. It's not like that. Floyd might carry them. Floyd might have carried fighters, in his career. One example is the Miguel Cotto fight. I always thought he could have stopped Miguel Cotto and chose not to. Like in about the 10th round when he starts hugging Cotto instead of hitting him. And not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Floyd just gave him respect. Miguel and him, they grew up in Top Rank together. So he didn't want to knock him out. I get it. But I won't say that Floyd fixes fights. I don't put a lot of time and effort and love into this sport thinking that these guys walk around and tell each other what they're going to do. There's other things that could fix the fight. Politics, we know, Lee. We just seen it last week, right? Everyone thought Jeff Horn lost, Manny Pacquiao won. Judges, even though WBO came back, said Jeff Horn won too. You get what I'm saying. I understand politics, but I do not think Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor went and sat down at a table and told each other what they're going to do to each other. No, they will get in the ring and they will fight like all of these guys do. This is what got these guys into this sport. They're not fixing fights, not at this level. There's too much money involved.
I don't think they're fixing. I'll say this. I don't think they're fixing the fight. I didn't get a chance to talk to Dana or Leonard Ellerby.
Floyd's gonna tax his
I mean,
ass.
I got to be honest. The way that this was, I got my approval for my press credential this morning, and it said tomorrow when you show up at Staples. I'm like, wow. And here's the next thing. So it's being run by TMT. This whole thing's being run by TMT.
Of course. You've seen what McGregor said, right? The McGregor, first thing he said is, oh, this isn't ran like anything in the UFC. I didn't know I was going to give a speech today. Like, what?
No, no. And I kind of believe him because, listen, when I showed up.
This is the World Series, baby.
When I showed up to get everything well, you know this from Mayweather versus Pacquiao, right? Everything was done last minute. No surprises here. They're basically running this like we know everybody's going to show up. We kind of know what's going to happen next. We're doing it on the fly. I was asking about credentials for Vegas, and when would we get notification about that? Oh yeah, we'll get that out. If you're on the mailing list, you'll get some. I said, how have you not done it already? It's like
right.
Like
they should have been taking information there, right?
Right.
Most of the time you're going to take a list of names and what source you represent, so you get credit for showing up at the press conference.
So I actually had to explain. I'll explain this to all the Fight Net radio listeners. Andrew will know immediately. Andrew, what was the only reason on God's green earth Lee went to the press conference today?
To see the fucking circus.
No.
What else?
You know that it was online. Everybody saw the same thing I saw. Why would I go to the press conference at Staples in the middle of my day?
To see the fans?
Nope.
Why then, Lee? You got me.
So that I could get my press credentials in Vegas.
Oh, well, yes. Yeah, you hope that helps. Let me tell you something.
Oh, it has to help.
I'm going to take it a step further.
But the mainstream media was ridiculous.
Do you know if you have a Boxing Writers Association membership, you're supposed to get table seats?
Oh, hey, look, yeah. I saw people show up and whip out their actual press credentials. If you weren't on the list, they sent your ass away.
Yeah. No,
there was no joke on this one.
You're talking international MMA and boxing. There's going to be a lot of people putting in
No, dude. I saw people show up who were notable, like local TV and otherwise. They didn't get responses to their credentials. They went up to go ask for, I submitted for my credentials. Here's my news company, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, we don't have you. Too bad.
McGregor needs to tighten up, Lee. Hey, Mayweather's fast.